remember vividly what it was like to be the psych ward. I felt like I was losing my mind from all the voices and delusions that I was experiencing there. The only people that I felt safe with were the nurses, Nurse Zoe in particular. The other nurses seemed to not show interest or care about me because I was just another nutcase. The first time I entered those doors was 5 years ago. I was hiding under a thin white blanket, confused, scared, and lonely. All I heard were the voices calling my name.
Adrian!
Oh, Adrian!
Adrian!
Get off me!
He's having another manic episode. Have his psychiatrist know about this?
Nurses, I'll take it from here. Thank you for calming the patient. I see that you had breakfast today, Adrian.
Yes, I decided to eat today because my head was clear, but now the voices are back.
I see. I'll stay with you a while, okay? Where would you like to begin? Was there anything on your mind? What are you thinking about? What would you like to discuss, Adrian?
I've been hearing so many voices in my head. I feel like I'm going insane. It all started when my wife had an affair, and I drove under the influence and got into a car accident.
And then, I noticed that you're biting your nails and scratching your head, Adrian. You appear to be aggressive and tense when other nurses are here. Why is that?
I feel like the nurses don't understand me. They always give me advice that leads to false hope that never seems to happen. Whenever they're around, I always hear voices. My head is starting to go insane.
And what do these voices seem to be saying, Adrian?
The voices, they just repeatedly call my name over and over again. It echoes all over my head.
And what is happening now?
My head is clear right now, but I feel anxious whenever they're clouding my head.
Tell me when you're anxious. Has this happened before?
I used to have these voices in my head when I was young, but it came back ever since the accident.
Did you feel anxious when it happened before?
It wasn't as bad as now, but it felt like having an imaginary friend then. But now it feels like an eerie crowd calling out my name.
Was it something like having an imaginary friend now?
No, it feels like there's more than one person calling my name.
And then?
I can't even sleep at night because I can see what I'm hearing.
What do you see? Is it related to the situation with your wife?
Yes, it feels just like that. I can hear my wife's voice and my mother's voice.
What concerns you?
What should I do about my wife's affair?
What do you think you should do?
I think I should file for a divorce. She always goes out at night saying that she's working a night shift, but she's clearly not.
So you feel angry when this happens?
Yes, it makes me feel furious knowing that she's having an affair. I've had enough of this. Ever since my mother was diagnosed with cancer, the voices in my head started to cloud my mind.
Can you tell me more about that? Could you talk about how it was when you learned your mother was diagnosed with cancer?
Well, when I was 9, my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer, and then I found out. I was panicking and rolling outside and rode my bike and fell. The next thing you know, I was asleep, but then I woke up. I was in the ICU. This is my wife and her lovers!
That was just nurses Julie, Zydel, and Zydel, Adrian. That was just a car starting, Adrian.
I swear it was someone who fell off a bike!
Isn't that unusual? That's really hard to believe.
Yes, I promise.
It was just a car engine starting. Can you tell me about the situation with your wife, Adrian?
She doesn't know that I'm aware of her affair.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm being used and manipulated.
What did it mean to you when you found out that your wife was doing this?
Everything that she told me felt like a lie. Now I see her as garbage.
Perhaps you and I can discover what produces these feelings. Perhaps by working together so we can come up with some ideas that might improve your communication with your spouse.
Yes, I believe that you can assist me with that.
Have I got this straight? You mentioned that you started to hear these voices after your bike accident, right? And it became worse once you got into a car accident after discovering that your wife was having an affair.
Yes, that is correct.
And this all has led up to you feeling anxious, confused, scared, and alone. What could you do to let anger out harmlessly the next time this happens?
Well, maybe I can reflect on everything and maybe calm myself by distracting myself with activities.
I see. What are some other ways you can approach your wife the next time she visits? What are the pros and cons of those situations?
The pros are that she still calls and check up on me, but the cons is that I know that she is still having an affair. I can maybe think of what I will say and how I will deliver my words so we can be on the same page.
I noticed that you made a decision. How did you arrive at this conclusion, Adrian?
Well, I've now realized that I've been letting the voices get to my head, and that's not only affecting me but my relationship with my loved ones.
So you said that you started to hear these voices since you're 9 and it became worse once you got into an accident. And it leads you to feeling anxious, angry, confused. Do you have any other concern, Mr. Adrian?
No, thank you very much, Nurse Zoe.
Okay, thank you so much, Adrian.